Hello and welcome back to the Emerald Guitar shipping room for another one of our Friday shipping videos. As you can see, Alistair's not with us this week. He actually is on his way to the Grand Prix in Monaco tomorrow, but he did have a run-in with a tractor today. So he's chilling out in the house, so we're going to take over for him. So just before we get started with the guitars, we had an amazing week last week with our guests from the Emerald Music Tour. Anyone that was watching last week's shipping video would have seen we had a whole pile of guests here for the live audience. And some of them even got their own custom guitars.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So we had an amazing week. There was 40 guests over. We stayed out in Rock Hill House. We had this amazing Georgian country estate. We went on excursions every single day throughout Donegal, and we saw some amazing music in places like castles and forts and valleys and all these amazing spots. So what was your highlight of the week, Keelan?
My highlight had to be we drove down to Greenan Fort, which is a big ring fort on a hill in Donegal. And we had fantastic music there by the Henry Girls. It was unbelievable.
They were amazing. It was like a dream. We had absolutely amazing weather all week. Incredible music and musicians. Everything from, Irish traditional music to a bit of rock and roll to blues and everything else as well. So let's get started and have a look at some of these guitars. Keelan, take it away for us.
So first up, we have Crystal in California with a lovely X10. This is our standard red, so it's the standard carbon weave with a transparent red paint over the top. This has the vines with dots inlay in gold with a lovely silver accent, and the gold hardware really ties that whole thing together. This guitar is fitted with a high vibe. Now, high vibes are something you're maybe going to see a bit of in this video. We did have a little bit of a delay with the supplier, but we're well stocked up now. So if you are waiting on a high vibe guitar, there's every chance it'll be out with you very, very shortly. For those that don't know, the high vibe gives you unplugged effects, looper, metronome in your guitar. So it uses little transducers, which, never mind, I messed that up there. It's actuators, not transducers.
Just take it from there.
Okay, so it has little actuators within the guitar, and what they do is they resonate the top, which allows the high vibe unit to process the signal and acoustically reproduce any effects or use your loop or anything like that. So Crystal, that's an absolutely beautiful guitar, and I hope you enjoy it.
So next up we've got this beautiful X20 going to Suguri in Japan. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that okay. So we've got the really classic emerald look here of the black carbon. And we can see also we've got this really cool Irish rose inlay with the white and then the red and the rose at the top. So as you can see, it's got that classic black carbon back and sides and front as well. It's one of my favorite looks, to be honest. It's just nice and strip back.
Absolutely.
Suguri's also gone for a high vibe in this one too. As Keelan said, we've got quite a few high vibes in this week because we did have a little bit of a delay in getting them, but we're well stocked up now, so anyone waiting for a high vibe should see theirs coming up very soon. So in case anyone's wondering what the high vibe does, or if we have any of the people here receiving their high vibes in the next week, we'll leave a link to below to our high vibe playlist where we have like a quick start guide and we have the sort of more in-depth guide about how to get the most from your high vibe system. So Suguri, enjoy.
And next up is Linda in New Jersey. Now, Linda and myself designed this, and we had a lot of fun in doing so. It's Tamo Ash on the veneer, and it has a nice transparent red burst over the front, which looks spectacular. It gives you everything from the sort of natural look of the Tamo Ash coming through on the lighter tones, right down to these really deep reds going eventually into the black fade. That's really set off with the standard red back and sides, which has a lot of depth and a lot of character. We've gone for just the plain standard unidirectional carbon fretboard. When you have a top like that, the fretboard looks great on its own, and we have the Cosmo Black hardware. This guitar is fitted with an LR Bags element, which is an undersaddle piezo pickup. You have a volume and tone control just hiding away in the sound hole here. And they sound great. They're super simple and they're super easy to use. So, Landa, I hope you have a lot of fun with this guitar. It looks amazing.
So next up, we've got another X20 going to James in Wisconsin. So James has got this gorgeous piece of maple burl on the front here. And we've also got the infinity nuts with the gold and silver. It's a really cool Celtic design, spelling out the fret markers there. And then if we look at the back and sides, we've got the beautiful standard amber. And then we've also got the gold hardware. The gold hardware and the amber back and sides is one of my favorite combinations, especially with a beautiful piece of wood veneer like that maple burl. So the main difference hardware wise between these two X20s is in the pickups. As we can see here, we've got the adjustable ghost piezo bridge in this one, and then we had the traditional bridge in the others. So this basically allows you to adjust the intonation and the height of each individual saddle, just like you would find on, you know, classic S&T style guitars. And if we look up here, we've got two volume knobs. So that actually means that we've got both the Graphtec Ghost Piezo pickup. So there's one pickup in each one of these saddles for a great, really smooth, really clear piezo tone. And then we've also got a K&K Pure Mini contact transducer under here as well. So the blend of the two of them is amazing for live work. Really a great sound. So that is that beautiful X20 going to James in Wisconsin. Enjoy it, James. Beautiful.
And next up is Robert in Arizona with another real classic emerald look. This is Coca-Cola on our X20. It's really stunning. It has a lot of definition in the grain. You can see the super light lines going right down to an almost black. Blends really well with the standard black back and sides that are on this guitar, as you can see here. And it's all set off by a lovely vine with leaf inlay in gold with a lovely little silver accent there on the 12th fret. This guitar yet again has a high vibe, and it's a real classic looking guitar. Looks great. So Robert, I hope you enjoy that.
So next up, we've got a whole pile of X20s this week and also a whole pile of X30s. So this is our last X20 of the week. We've got this stunning X20 going to Seline in Luxembourg. Now let's get a look at that. So we've got a really cool combination going on here with the teal back and sides, and then the teal over the Pal Dow veneer on the front, and then really help to accent that with the vines with dots and lace. So we've got the gold and then the little teal accents as well. Beautiful. And also something that's kind of unusual for an X20, but that Celine's gone for here, is the slotted headstock. So you'll usually only find these on the nylon models, the nylon strings, but it is an option if you're looking for it that you can add in the 3D builder. So beautiful color there right across. And of course, let's not forget, we've got the high vibe again. So as Keelan mentioned earlier, the high vibes turns the guitar into a sort of smart guitar. You've got all these options for effects, everything from delay and echo to octaves and distortions. You can access them all right through here, and you can also pair them up with the app. So as I said, we'll leave the link to the playlist down below where you can check all those out. Stunning. Beautiful. Enjoy, Seline.
And next up, going to Frederick in Quebec, we have a lovely X30. So the X30 is our jumbo offering. You can see the size difference between that and an X20, but it is made very comfortable by the contours throughout the body. You see one there for your elbow, one on there as a belly cut, and one down here which helps it really lock in to your knee when you're in the playing position. This particular X30 again has the lovely Coca-Cola top. We have the Trinity knot inlays in black and white. I think the black isn't something you see so often, but the difference in finish on the inlay versus the fretboard. Makes it really, really stand out. We have the Cosmo Black hardware in this, and high vibe again. So it's a very, very pretty guitar there. The X30 gives you a huge, huge sound, and it looks the part as well. Enjoy, Frederick.
So next up, number 2 out of 5 X30s this week. We've got this, another gorgeous example going to Timothy in Pennsylvania. We've got some really beautiful brown wood veneers, some of the darker woods on these this week. This is the Amara Ebony. I mean, it's not a veneer that we get through every week, but it's really stunning, isn't it? You get all those amazing contrasts between the almost pure black and then the really lighter parts and little bits of yellow and almost white that are coming through in that green as well. So we've got no inlays on this one. It's standard back and sides, standard black carbon. Beautiful. So for anyone that's been watching the shipping videos in the last couple of weeks, obviously last week we had the guys from the tour here. We had a special live shipping video. But the week before that, in preparation, just before the tour coming up, we had something different. We had Nathaniel Murphy, who's an amazing guitar player. He was up at the factory for a couple of days, and he played kind of a bit on every single guitar that we have up in the player suite. So I'll leave the link below for that as well. You should definitely go and check that out. He was blowing my mind on an X30 for a couple of times. He had just picked up an X30 and was flying through some bluegrass stuff, and he was blown away by the tone and the bass response in those. So keep an eye out for more on our channel from Nathaniel in the next couple of weeks and months, because we're going to be dropping some more reels and videos of him playing.
Absolutely. It's always a pleasure to hear.
I was blown away. He's amazing. So yeah, who's up next?
So next up, we've got Kevin in Virginia. Now this is one of my favorite veneers. This is Redwood Burl, and you can see just how complex that is. You have these lovely little lines running through it, but you have this overall sort of stippling effect, which has everything from bright yellow down to real deep reds and blacks. Really, really pretty. We have the standard black back and side. Seems to be a popular theme this week, but you can see why. It's a really, really beautiful look. On this, we have the vines with leaves, which looks great in gold. Really, really pops. And just this nice red accent to stand out amongst such a pretty finish. We have the standard black hardware on this and the high vibe. So all in all, another beautiful, beautiful guitar with a really big tone. So Kevin, I'm sure you'll enjoy.
So next up, we've got another stunning X30 going to Ulrich in Belgium. This one's got a really stunning Casipo top. You can see there's real cool variation between the different tops that we've got here. So if you go onto the 3D builder and you're having a look around, you can check out all the individual pieces that we've got in stock. Each one of these is a real piece of wood, and each one of these is only available once. And we individually photograph them and catalog them in the builder. So if you go on and pick this one, it's got a certain number beside it. It's the only one out there. It's the only one you can get. So these really are, individual, special, custom builds. So we've also got the infinity knots there with the gold and white. Really cool Celtic design. And one of my favorite is, these kind of darker woods with the gold hardware as well. I think it just matches so well. Really elegant looking. And then we've got that stunning red back and sides too. Magic. So one of the things that you can see kind of a bit more in the bigger models like the X30 is the ergonomic sides. So you can see this cut here sits right across your leg whenever you're playing. So you can play at a totally kind of straight angle. Makes it really comfortable. We've also got the heelless neck design in all these as well. Beautiful. So Ulrich, enjoy your X30.
And now for the last X30, we have something a little different. So this is an X30 12 string. This is going out to Scott in Illinois. So we have quilted maple top, and that's a really interesting piece of quilted maple. You can see the variations between the lighter pieces and the darker pieces. It has this really cool stripe down the middle, and that is just from the veneer itself. That's not something we've done with paint. That is how the natural veneer reacts. It has this really, really tight quilt the whole way throughout it, and it widens out towards the edge there, right where the fade is. So that's really, really gorgeous. Now obviously that's not the natural colour of the wood, that is a teal translucent paint, and it looks great. It really brings out the depth within that green. We've paired that with a lovely vine with dots inlay, and that's primarily in silver, but we've kept that teal theme going with the little dot accents, and they look amazing. We have the Cosmo Black hardware, and this is standard black back and sides along with the high vibe unit fitted. So the X3012 is a lot of fun. It gives you all that low end that you expect from the X30, but you also get that lovely shimmer that you can only get with a 12 string. It sounds great, and importantly it stays in tune as well, which is quite rare to say for a 12 string guitar, you know. So Scott, I hope you enjoy. It's a really beautiful instrument.
Last but not least, we usually go from the smallest to the biggest, but we've gone right the way to the end, and then we've got a little surprise here as well. So we've got this really cool Amicus in the standard black with the gold hardware. This one's going to David in Portugal. So the Amicus, in case anyone doesn't know, it looks a bit too small to be a proper guitar, and it looks a bit too big to be like a mandolin. Well, it's kind of in between. So it is a 12 string guitar, but with this compact body and this short scale length, we've actually got the unison strings on here as well. So it gives you something that kind of sounds somewhere in between a regular 12 string and a mandolin. It's kind of my favorite emerald at the minute. I was playing away using it at the tour last week, jamming with the guests, and it gives you an amazing tone. Great for fitting in whenever there's 5, 6, 7 other guitar players. And you can just cut right through the mix. Yeah. So for anyone that doesn't know what an Amicus is, we've got a whole pile of videos up online. We can go and check it out. So beautiful. So guys, that's us for another week in the shipping room. Keep an eye out over the next couple of weeks, because we're going to have some content coming up from the tour that we did last week. If anyone's been looking at the tour and wondering whether they should go in September, we do still have places left for September. If anyone's teetering on the edge, I would say go and do it. You'll not regret it.
Well worth it. It's
a
fantastic trip.
We did have a fantastic week, and we were working at it. So if you were actually just going and relaxing and enjoying it, you're going to have an even better time. Okay? So keep an eye out for that sort of stuff in the next couple of weeks, and we'll see you again here back next Friday. Thanks.
Take me to heart, and I'll always love you, and nobody can make me do wrong. Take me for granted, and I'll tag right makes willpower weak and temptation strong. A woman's only human. You must understand. She's not just a plaything. She's flesh and blood, just like a man. So if you wanna do right, all right, woman, you gotta be a do-right, all-night man, yeah. They say it's a man's world, but you can't prove that by me. But as long as we're together, baby, show some respect for me. If you gotta do right all day, woman, woman, you gotta be a do-right all night man. Oh, yeah. They say it's a man's world, but you can't prove that by me. And as long as we're together, baby, show some respect for me. If you gotta do right all day, woman, woman, you gotta be a do-right all day man. You gotta be a do-right all night man. Yeah, thank you.